About 7 years ago, I used to live in a more rural area of Tennessee growing up. I spent most of my days traipsing around the backcountry with my friends, logging miles of hiking a day. Usually there were 4 of us that would venture out, but on this particular day, only 2 of us went. I'll call my friend Tyler. Well, Tyler's family had just moved here from California barely a year before this day. We rode our backs as far as was feasible and hid them while we traversed the hills. We meandered through the woods for hours, joking and playing like we usually did. We got to this kind of clearing and Tyler was talking animatedly to me and just stopped. This was a kid that talked a mile a minute. I don't talk as much, so I was content to listen. And I remember feeling my stomach drop. I figured there was a snake. But when I turned to look at him, his face was twisted into this silent scream. He was looking behind me and up. He kind of pointed and took off running in the other direction. By this time, I felt the icy grips of terror leeching onto me, but still I turned around. I don't know what it was, but it was tall and hairy. Smelled bad. I would have called it a Bigfoot, but it ran like a dog. I lived in rural areas my whole life, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I did not see a bear that day. Bears have sounds I know. They have running styles different than dogs. Bears were a daily sighting depending on what house I was at. I don't know what I saw, but I know enough about life that I don't go telling anyone I know in person about it now. People where I'm from reported similar sightings. Tyler and his family moved back to California less than a month after the incident. He never spoke to any of us, myself and our ragtag bunch, again. If we went to his door, he wouldn't answer, or his mother would send us away. A couple years later, I moved up north. I have told no one besides people I knew in the town I'm from, and now, this subreddit.
There is a medicine story that tells of Crow's fascination with her own shadow. She kept looking at it, pecking at it until her shadow woke up and became alive. Then Crow's shadow ate her. Crow is dead Crow now. Join us as we attempt to look through the wandering crow's eye to find the gateway to the supernatural, to seek to know the unknowable mysteries of creation. Welcome to the Wandering Crow podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wandering Crow. This is Cameron.
And this is Mandy. Hello. So Cameron, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about the wild world of cryptids and everything that it entails.
All right.
It's a very wide range of topics, which, strangely, is very hard to research these days.
Isn't that weird?
Did you want to go over some of yours? What
Well,
were you able to find?
Well, first of all, I just want to say what I thought a cryptid meant, because I'm not really huge into the topic of cryptids. I really just don't spend a lot of time thinking about or looking into cryptids. It's one of my least favorite topics. To me, the word cryptid meant like fairy tale, folklore creature, like not real creatures. That's kind of what it meant to me, because that's sort of the social connotation. But I looked it up.
You see, I'm more used to like cryptozoology.
Right.
That's like the term that I was introduced for it. So I kind of always thought it was just the animals that couldn't be proved, like were real.
Exactly. And that's what it actually means. And that kind of helped me a little bit kind of open up to the idea and the topic. So first I want to start with, do you have any real life personal experiences with cryptids? Because I have one.
What? Growing up in the desert, there were some strange events that happened. Obviously the shadow people, I don't think that's really cryptid though. I also had an encounter with something. I couldn't really figure out what it was. Like deep grunting from the woods, in the desert in the wash. When you remember we used to build those forts.
Wait,
Like
wait,
those
wait.
big, large structures.
Where are we talking about? We're talking about in the town where our parents live right now?
So right next door, but it's more so the desert that's over by the Taco Bell.
Okay.
That area.
I know which one you're talking
We
about.
we we had that construction site next door, and we built these big forts. And I fell asleep on that. And when I woke up, I just noticed that it was really quiet. And I just started hearing this deep grunting noise. Just this deep animalistic noise coming from below me. I never saw what it was. I did look around because, I figured I was up in a tree, so I might as well. If it's coming at me, I want to know.
Yeah.
And I never saw anything.
Wait, okay.
I waited for it to stop, and then I ran out of the desert.
How long did it go on for?
Probably about 20 minutes.
No way! 20 minutes? And you never saw it?
I was looking too.
Okay, so it was like a grunting noise, or like what was it? Like, because I would think grunting noise, javelina, because they grunt and make funny little huffing noises as they're like looking for food.
It was like grunting intermittent with growling.
No, really?
Mm-hmm. But I was high enough up to where I kind of felt like I was better off where I was.
How old were you?
So when did we do that? I was probably like anywhere from 10 to 12.
Holy crap.
So I stayed right where I was until like it stopped, and I gave it a little bit, and I ran the hell out of the wash.
Jesus. So
I never went to sleep in the wash again.
Yeah, I guess not. So, but what did you... Okay, so I thought instantly javelina. What did you think?
Well, so do you remember Lionel and his sister that lived up the road?
Yeah, I do. Of course I do.
She used to come back from her job. She worked over at that Taco Bell, or one of the establishments next to it. And she used to say that she could see like trolls. Like, I know that's kind of a big superstition for where we live. We were right next to a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
But, she used to say that trolls lived in that area.
Did she ever describe them to you? What did she say they looked like?
So, like small people.
Really?
Maleficent beings that just sort of can cause you trouble, and if you anger them, they can actually like stop your heart.
What? Dude.
So she would see them and she'd run home.
Because she was so freaked out. Oh my God. Okay, so that's crazy because one of the accounts, first of all, I do also have a cryptid account in that same area, but I want to talk about this. So I did find one of the things that I was looking at because I wanted to see what kind of cryptids exist in our area, mostly because I wanted to try and figure out what I saw. I was looking for other accounts of what I saw, and I couldn't find anything that looked like what I saw. But in Arizona, there is a legend of a troll, and it's been seen by multiple people. Let's see, this report says a man named I.W. Stevens reported seeing the creature near the Grand Canyon. He says, it had long white hair and matted beard that reached to its knees. It wore no clothing, and upon his talon-like fingers were claws at least 2 inches long. Upon closer inspection, he noted a coat of gray hair nearly covered his body, with here and there a spot of dirty skin showing. He saw the creature drinking the blood from 2 felled cougars, and when it saw him, it picked up a club and screamed at him. Surprisingly, the most recent recorded sighting of a troll was on the Mogollon Rim, which occurred in 2013. And just so our listeners are aware, the Mogollon Rim is very, very close to that incident called, if you remember, there was that incident of, what was his name, Travis something. He was abducted by aliens, and they made a movie about it, Fire in the Sky.
Yeah, you're talking about the Strawberry.
Yeah.
The town of Strawberry.
Well, it's close. It's the place where, remember where, like, after he was brought back, he ran and he made a phone call.
He was brought back to Mesa.
No, Dad told me that there was a payphone where, and maybe it was where his friends finally called the police, but there was a payphone, and my dad showed it to me. He goes, that's the payphone where they made the phone call. And I thought he told me where that Travis guy made the phone call when he was first brought back by the aliens. I didn't think he was brought back to Mesa.
I thought that was in Mesa.
Dude, we
But
need to look at that story. We live way
yeah,
too close to not know the details of this.
to not know the specifics, yeah, for real.
Okay, we need to look that. We'll do an episode on that one day. Okay, but anyway, so in 2013 on the Mogollon, a 28-year-old woman believes she came across an unidentified animal while hiking in the Canyon Point Trail located in the region of the Mogollon Rim. I love Canyon Point. I go there a lot. Her name is Y. Estevez. A sociology student who claims she was alone at the time of the incident says she saw a troll-looking creature drinking from a pool of water. It was on its knees drinking water when I found it. Drinking, making noises like a pig. Dude, Cameron.
Yeah.
So at first sight, the animal looked like a pig to me. She says, but upon closer inspection, she saw that it had long hair, gray and bluish, and I swear it looked like one of those trolls from a fairy tale. Ugly stuff. The face was human-looking, no hair on it, but full of bumps. The eyes were kind of a brown red, thick big nose, small lips. No expression on its face at all. It then took off running like a person. And
That would make sense too, because it's kind of taboo for them to talk to outsiders about that kind of thing. So maybe she just kept it super vague. But that's what I heard. That's what I heard for sure.
A pig-like noises. Yeah, that's immediately where my head went. There is a picture, and they say there's some intriguing photos of a troll on the Mogollon Rim that were taken with a wildlife camera. Those images are copyrighted, and they did have a link at one time, but the owner changed the link so it sends them to like ads and stuff. So the owner was capitalizing on it, so they removed the link, and I couldn't find it. I looked. I was very sad not to be able to see that picture. But yeah, man, like what a crazy correlation. I mean, so just for the listeners' sake, we live, God, what is the drive? Like an hour away from the Mogollon? Like 40 minutes an hour? We live a good hour by drive, like freeway drive. So we're speeding quite a lot from the Mogollon, and the terrain is very, very different. Where we live is low desert, or where we lived. It's low desert, scrubby wash, smallish trees, not very big, not super dense vegetation, although in that particular wash it actually is pretty dense because there's more water accumulated there. And just like really low growth, not a lot of places for big animals to hide, except I do remember accounts of bears and mountain lions, and constantly neighbors were taking pictures of like mountain lions and stuff in their backyards. Yep. So, I mean, big animals do live out there and do quite well. So, I don't know. That's nuts. That's nuts. So, okay. So, you want to hear my cryptid experience?
Yeah.
It's not super exciting. There wasn't a lot that went on, but it never left me. Like, it really impacted me. I was 17, maybe 18 years old. And I used to go, so there is near our house, not very far at all, less than, I don't know, like 300 feet away, is a fence that separates the town from the local reservation. And I used to get over the fence. It's just a barbed wire fence, so it was pretty easy to get around. Get over the fence and wander around in the reservation. And I liked it because it was just pure desert. Like, there were no buildings, there was nothing. There were no people. Just occasionally I would get to see horses that were just running around wild out there. That was pretty cool. And I just liked it. And sometimes I'd find bones of stuff that had been, I am assuming, eaten by other animals. We lived in an area where we would hear coyote song every night. So it was just kind of, I just enjoyed it. I just liked being out in the wild. And one time I kind of came across this strange saguaro. It was actually two saguaros. I called them the twins. And they were in the same spot. So it was like two tall saguaro within, like they were right next to each other. So I just called them the twins. And it was dying. Like they were dying. And one of them was completely gone. And the other one was dying from the bottom up. So like the top was still alive and green, but the bottom was charred black and like had some skeleton showing. And I don't know if you're not familiar with saguaro. Saguaro does have kind of like a type of sort of wooden skeleton thing that the skin is arranged around. And I don't know why. Just as a kid even, I guess I just believed in the spirit of all things. and I felt like I wanted to keep this saguaro company as it was dying. And so I would go there a lot. I would just get out, I would hike, and I would go find the twins, and I would just sit with the twins for a while and just enjoy the quiet and just be with it for a while. And one day, for some reason, I don't know what it was I was looking for, but I was squatting. I was squatting with my face right at the base where the two cactus kind of met at the bottom, and I was looking at it. And I don't remember what I was looking for exactly, but I was just looking at it, I guess. I don't know. And as I was looking at it, all of a sudden, this crazy thing soundlessly jumped out at my face. And I tell you, I believed absolutely I was about to get bit by a rattlesnake. Like, I 100% thought, oh, I am so fucked. That's a rattlesnake. I'm about to get bit. I jumped back and I landed on my ass, I don't know, like a couple feet away. And as I watched, I had my hands behind me, bracing behind me, and my feet, I was trying to tuck them into my body as much as I could to get away from this rattlesnake. And I watched it, and as I watched it, it jumped out from the base of the cactus, ran a big circle around the cactus, and then jumped back in. Do you know what I saw? You can't know what I saw. I don't even know why I'm asking you. It was a lizard head without a body. It was just a lizard head without a body. That's all it was. It was black, like pure black, and it was like this open, gaping little head, and it was probably the size of my hand. It was a big head. It wasn't like a tiny little lizard that fits in the palm of your hand. Like, the head was big, the size of my hand probably. Like, if you like puppet your hand, like your thumb is like the jaw and your forefingers are like the roof of the mouth. Like, that's how big it was, and it was open, and it jumped out at me, this massive mouth, and this pitch black thing that was only a head ran around the cactus and back inside the cactus. And let me tell you, my mind was blown. Like, what the hell did I just see? And I looked around for it. I took a stick and I was poking around for it. It was gone. It came and then it was gone. And I have no freaking clue to this day what I saw. I've looked and I've looked and I've looked. The closest thing I have been able to find is it does kind of look a little bit, remind me of like a Gila monster, like the face of a Gila monster. But it had no body. There was no body. And I saw Gila monsters before plenty of times. I know what they look like. Maggie freaking, I don't know if you remember our dog Maggie. She just wanted to die all the time. Maggie chased one once in the backyard. It's not like
a little hunter. She was protecting us. All right.
A rotten dog with a death wish, chasing this really poisonous Gila monster. I guess not well, it is poison. It causes a lot of pain if it gets bit. But you could see the whole body. Like, I saw the whole body that time. You know, I saw it and I was looking and I was freaked out, expecting a snake to get me, and there was no body. It was just this head. What the hell do you think that was?
Well, I would say that was probably like a desert spirit.
I mean,
now why it jumped out and tried to like attack you, and that was clearly the vibe you got, right?
Well, the vibe that I got was that I got way too close and I was in its space. That was the vibe I got. And so it reacted. Not that it was necessarily trying to be aggressive against me, but that it felt, the vibe that I got was that it felt like it needed to defend itself. So it jumped out at me because I got way too close. But I didn't even know it was there. And I had a pretty good sense. Like, I had a pretty good sense for what was around me in the desert.
When you live in a desert, you know what's around you. You get a pretty good idea of the wildlife.
And you could find it. Like, I knew where there were snakes. I could feel that. Like, I could see them. Like, there were more than one occasion. Like, that wash where you built that thing, there were snakes there all the time, and I would always see them. You just walk carefully. Like, you know where they are. I had no awareness that this thing was there until it was jumping out at me. It's just, gosh. I will never get
And
over
the fact that it was just a head.
Yes. So there's only one other person I've ever told this story to. So my friend Emma, I told her, and she said, I think it was a shadow creature, and the reason that you were so into the saguaro is it was a natural portal. Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But it vibes with what you're saying about like a desert creature. I mean, it's something. It was something. I don't know what, but it was something.
I don't think that it was a natural portal to anything, but I think that maybe... I think it might have been like how you see tree spirits in lore is pretty common.
Oh, yeah. So maybe the spirit of the cactus. Or a spirit attached to the cactus.
Yeah.
Man. So that's my one and only cryptid story. That's it. That's all I got. So,
I mean, think about how old that cactus probably was.
oh my gosh. Well, there was 2 of them, and they each had at least 2 arms. They have to be 75 years old before they even start to grow their first arm, and they were full-grown, big arms, and they had multiple arms. So it had to have been at least 100 years old, maybe older.
So I would stand with my reasoning that it was probably some sort of tree spirit, but of the desert.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I've thought about going back there and just checking it out, but I haven't. Someday
But
I
you know,
will.
when they fall, they have a chance to regrow. Because cacti, when they fall over, their spines can become roots.
It depends on the cactus. I don't know if
It does.
saguaro can do that.
I think they
Maybe the arms can.
can.
I don't know. That's, well, whatever. Okay, so I have a couple of things. So those are our personal cryptid stories. But here's. Do you want to hear about some cryptids that end up being true?
Chupacabra?
No. So
That one did. It was just a hairless dog.
I believe
At least
that.
the American version, the South American version, is still sort of
out
that's
there.
the one that's more vampiric.
I didn't know about that with the North American chupacabra is actually just a hairless dog. Is it like a wild dog or what?
Yeah, it's like a wild dog, and it naturally just doesn't have that much hair. It's got these little spines that grow out that are just really coarse hair. And they've caught a few now.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they look like mangy dogs, but they're chupacabra.
Well, that kind of reminds me of the description of, what is it, the ugliest dog in the world? It's like a Chinese something. It wins the award for ugliest dog in the world almost every year. It's a specific breed of dog. All right, well, I've got a story for you. So one of the big things that I saw on Reddit was cryptids can't be real because, like, unless it's like microfauna. There's no such thing as macrofauna. You'd find dead bodies, you'd find footprints, you'd find fur, except, so, in 1974 in Turkey, the last Anatolian leopard was killed, and they considered the species to be extinct. Now, during that time, in, the 50-year period when they never saw them again, quote unquote, saw them again, there were sightings. People of the area were saying, no, I saw a leopard. It was definitely an Anatolian leopard. I saw it. And everybody said, they're extinct. What are you talking about? There are none. Well, in 2019, so a little over 40, so exactly 45 years later, they actually caught it on a government trail cam. And they caught multiple sightings of a leopard. And Turkey was very excited about this because it's a really precious animal. And they started searching around and they set up more trail cams, and they were able to distinguish at least 10 to 15 Anatolian leopards that are still alive in the wild. And so this was very exciting news. So that's an example of, that is an animal that can get up to 90 kilograms, which, let me do some math real quick, about a little over 200 pounds, this creature. So that's a pretty big animal that just disappeared without a trace for like 50 years and now suddenly is back and they're able to find it. And Turkey is keeping the location where they found them kind of hush-hush because they don't want people out there hunting them. But I just thought that was a very cool example of a time when a cryptid turned out to be real. What do you think of that?
I think that's really good to backdrop the rest of cryptids.
Yes, exactly.
There's things that are out there that we just don't know. We just don't see them. We don't cover the entire planet.
No, and on Reddit had this really awesome map, and I wish that I had saved it, of populated areas of the world versus unpopulated. And there is so much of the world that people just do not live in, that are just not populated.
In June 2014, a new whale species was discovered in the Alaska Triangle.
No way.
Yep. That was my brief research on the Alaska Triangle. They discovered a whole new species of whale. A whale. And those usually, you would think they're in like warmer areas, but no, this was in the Alaskan waters.
Dude.
They'd never seen it before, and it's very rare, and it was the first of its kind that we'd ever seen. Just in 2014.
Dude, that's cool, man. I love that. I just feel like it's hubris. Like, it's human hubris. If it was out there, we would know. Well, we're not all knowing and all seeing. Like, there's actually this really great online article of 10 animals that were thought to be cryptids, which we now know that they are alive. So there's this little bird called the Australian night parrot. The last time it had been seen was in 1912. They disappeared, and people thought that they were extinct because this is in Australia. And cats and foxes had been introduced, who were not native to the area were introduced, and they thought that these cats and foxes ate all these little birds. But then in 1990, like 80 years later, someone found a dead one on the side of the road in Queensland. So then someone spent 15 years searching for one, and he finally got a photograph in 2013, and they said, holy crap, and they were so excited. Okay, he got some kind of an award. But now, it says, some of Mr. Young's evidence was questioned in March 2019. And the Australian Wildlife Conservancy removed some of the new records. But they still agree that these animals are alive. Like, there's this fish. Like, I feel like fish is a no-brainer, Like, we haven't discovered...
Yeah, really, anything that lives in the ocean.
Anything that lives in the ocean. Yeah. There's this New Guinea big-eared bat, a Cuban solenodon. It looks like an anteater. It's a little.
You want to go a step further?
What?
Okay, so here's a larger species of thing that exists in the world on a smaller space that people have sightings of to this day. The Mau.
What is that?
Thus, the Maori people are named after, I believe. The flightless birds that exist in New Zealand. They were long since to be thought extinct, but there are still sightings of them today. They don't find any dead bodies, they don't find any skeletons, but people describe these birds like tourists even, and then they find out that the Mau existed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you saw an extinct bird. Well, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Like, they never heard of it before in their lives, but they're somehow able to describe it perfectly. It's just amazing. So here's a story. I have one that kind of fits.
There it is. 1838 is when it was thought to
have gone extinct.
Might have misread that, but that's the only date I can find. Yes, I think so.
Does not surprise me at all. So, okay, I have one that I absolutely think is a fantastic example of humans being shitheads. So, there is this turtle called the Hoan Kiem turtle, and it used to be considered a cryptid. It's a soft-shelled turtle that lived in the Hoan Kiem Lake in Hanoi, Vietnam. It was a very important animal in the mythology, and most people felt like it was just this mythological creature that didn't actually exist. Now, here's what kills me. Its existence was proven when it was caught on camera in March 24th, 1998. They had a turtle. It wasn't considered proven until 1998 when someone caught it on camera. I just want to get that in your head. Someone caught it on camera in 1998.
That's pretty fucking recent.
Okay, but here, listen to this.
It's only the advent of technology.
No, but listen, this is going to outrage you. On June 2nd, 1967, a Hoan Kiem turtle climbed to shore and was injured by a fisherman with a crowbar. The turtle later died of its injuries, and it was said to be 200 kilograms, so about 440 pounds, and measured about 6'3" long. They also thought it was about 500 years old. This turtle has been embalmed.
Oh, God.
It's been embalmed and has been on display in the Temple of Jade Mountain, which is near the lake, since that time. In 1967, someone killed the turtle and they embalmed it and put it on display. but it wasn't considered proven to exist until 1998. Explain that to me.
Wow. Stupid locals. What do you know?
Exactly.
The Tasmanian tiger survived into the 21st century.
I read about that one.
People still see this creature.
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, Australian authorities reported on seeing a footprint. Like they caught a footprint of this species.
I read about that too.
They're still seeing it, but it's not confirmed that it's real.
That's what kills me.
So,
oh, go ahead.
These are of any size, shape, location. It just happens that we don't see everything all the time.
And it kills me, like, what qualifies as enough proof to show that something really is alive? Like, they physically had a body, but it wasn't proven to be a real creature until they actually caught it on camera. And I wonder if the difference is maybe they thought that they had killed the last one in 1967, and they thought it was extinct.
That wouldn't make it a cryptid. That would make it an extinct species.
Yes. So God, it just drives me crazy. And that's what kills me about the Bigfoot argument, is people are capturing video all the time, trail cam video. People are seeing evidence after the fact of like behaviors that these things do. People are but they're finding footprints which are getting casted. Like, there's extensive evidence. They just haven't caught a live one yet.
We even have behavioral, testimony from witnesses.
Behavioral testimony.
Okay, here's what it did. It was fucking terrifying.
Their animal
it didn't interact
calls.
with anything.
Yeah.
It just left footprints and scared the shit out of me.
But people are saying there's no way that's real because we would see evidence of it. But we do have evidence. You just don't like the evidence.
And plus, these are humanoid creatures. Who's to say they're not burying the evidence?
That's true. We don't know what level of intelligence they have. They could be very intelligent. So the other thing I found was there was this thing called a HOGZILLA, and it was this story in Texas of this giant hog, and they were saying that it was easily a ton. So someone reported it was over 12 feet long and weighing over 1,000 pounds, and they originally thought, you're crazy, this is a hoax, you just want attention. That was, and they don't say when the sighting started, but then in 2005, they actually did find out that it was real. Like, they were able to produce evidence of this actual monster hog. It turned out it was only 800 pounds, not 1,000. And it was between 6.9 and 8.6 feet long. And then there was another pig that they actually ended up naming Fred, who was shot and killed by a 12-year-old boy. That one ended up being 1,051 pounds, 1 ton, and was 9.4 feet long. Like, there are these things out there. People didn't believe it until they could actually, and so they have some that were recorded in China and another place in Wyoming where they actually will raise them now. So they're no longer considered a cryptid anymore. Like, it's proven. No, these are real. Like, in these pictures, its face is bigger than these men's torsos. Like, it's crazy how big this pig is. It's just crazy. And they called it HOGZILLA for a while until they proved it was true.
In Virginia, there is this folklore. It's actually making the rounds right now. It's one of the easier ones to research on the gorps.
Oh, yeah, the gorps. Tell me about the gorps.
Gigantic ground sloths. There is now trail cam footage of what they believe to be the ground sloth in Virginia, which I don't think we've got sloths.
No, not known species.
And so there's these giant things that aren't bears that walk around, and if you get too close, it said that you're a goner. Really? Because they're not slow really like their other sloths. Because they're ground sloths. They didn't really evolve to do that. And they're also omnivore, so they will eat meat.
Oh. You know, I saw that. I think I saw the same picture, like a still shot from the trail cam. It did. So one of the arguments about that gorp is that could have been just a sickly, very skinny bear. What do you say about that?
Did you see the tail?
No, I didn't. I don't remember there being a tail.
There.
Really? So maybe it was a different video then.
Maybe.
All right.
And that looks much smaller what you would think for a gorp to be. But,
Well, how big are gorps supposed to be?
well, so ground sloths are huge. Twice the size of a man, easy. 3 times the size, probably.
Really? All right. Yeah, I think that the video or the still that I saw looked, by comparison to its environment, I mean, it was a big animal, but not that big. Huh. That's pretty big. By 3 men? That's big.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Interesting. All right. I have a category of that I call compelling but unproven cryptids. All right, I want to show you this. You maybe saw this, and we'll have this in the notes. So I want to send you this. I sent it direct to you in the same place where you sent me the alien video. Okay.
Oh, wait, I didn't actually send you the picture.
Oh, of the gorp? No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Hey. Enter. There's that.
Sweet.
I just put it in my toolbar and never actually sent it.
That is the one I saw. So where is this tail? That is the one I saw, although that does not, those arms do not look bear-like at all.
Is that not a tail in the back there? I thought that was the leg and a tail.
I don't know. To me, that looked like debris on the ground. I don't see where it connects to the body. So, for our dear listener, this is the story of the giant Congo snake photo that was taken in 1962. So we've got this gentleman, what is his name? Colonel Remy Van Lierde. He is a Belgian Air Force colonel. He's a decorated veteran. He was a prisoner of war for a short period of time. He served in really key leadership roles, like just a guy with a really clean record who's just very believable, a lot of clout, like this person. And he was in the African Congo, him, the pilot, and another passenger, and they were flying through this common trade area. Like there was this trail. So they were flying through this trail route, and they spotted this snake. Now, the picture itself kind of sucks because there's almost nothing to use as scale, to kind of scale this snake. But there's very clearly...
I do see a tree in the background.
Yeah, there's trees. And some people have spent a lot of time evaluating this. They think that those are African acacia, and they can get anywhere from like 6 feet to as tall as 20 feet. And then there's this monstrous snake that's out there. He claimed this snake was 50 feet long, and they passed it 3 times to get pictures. I have the interview. All right.
Several passes over the hole where the snake was in, able to the man take a picture of it. And I made certainly between 4 and 6 passes right over the hole where the snake was in. By then I was already flying for 25 years, so I have a very good experience of measuring things. And I would say the snake I saw there was close to 50 foot. Close to 50 feet. I don't know, you say 50 foot or 50 feet, but very close to, certainly. And it was moving inside the hole and looking very dark green, deep green, brown, with his belly white. Now when I came down on that snake in his hole, and I would say at about 25, 30 foot up, the snake raised up by about, I would say, 10 foot. And I could very clearly, closely see the head, which was looking, and I could not make a better comparison as with a very large horse, with big, very, very big jaws, looking triangular. And you're just standing up like there to me, and I feel and I'm convinced if I had been in its range, it would have struck at me, it would have been striking me. And yet, I would say it was certainly at least on the very 2 foot wide and 3 foot long. It could have easily eaten up a man.
This is one of those rare cases where we have an expert witness and an excellent photograph. Analysis of the ground features suggests that this animal was indeed at least 40 feet long. So,
Okay, so that was the man. That guy was Colonel. So one of the arguments against
I gotta say too, that is a very charming accent.
Yeah.
What is that?
He's Belgian. I don't know what.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Look, I'm not great on the
Eastern European
Didn't
countries.
Didn't sound Dutch.
I don't know, dude. The freaky deaky Dutch. Oh, Austin Powers. So, some of the arguments against this thing, like, first of all, there are Congo pythons that are known to get up to 20 feet. That's a known thing. None have ever been reported larger than that. And there's a lot of argument about the physiology of a snake being larger than 20 feet. It couldn't support itself. It would crush itself. It wouldn't be able to live on land. It would have to be mostly aquatic. And it's never been found. Like, there's never been a snake that large found. The second thing was there's not a lot in the picture to use to create any kind of scale, so it's difficult to measure, but there have been experts who have looked at it and have been able to create a kind of scale. Like, you can't say exactly how large those trees are, but if those trees are 6 feet, then you can get kind of a rough estimate of the snake size, which would be about 20 foot. If those trees are 10 feet, then that snake would be between 25 and 30 feet. If those trees are indeed 15 feet tall, then that snake is between 40 and 50 feet long. Like, so they're able to kind of create the scale. It is a very, very big snake. And then the other common argument against it is this gentleman is flying at 500 feet. And a lot of the arguments are at 500 feet, he says the snake rears up. How did he get such a clear view of it? And why did they think that they were in danger and fly away? There's no way that that thing was going to strike and catch that helicopter at 500 feet. But that's actually a confusion of the story. Initially, they were flying at 500 feet. Then as they made later passes, they got lower and lower and lower to get closer to it. By the end, when the snake rears up and lifts up 10 feet of its body, they are within 25 to 30 feet of the ground at that point. They were very close, and a snake that size probably could have struck. I can definitely see the danger that they were in. Hopefully I can edit. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. And so there are other threads where people have really looked, and then there's been some question about whether or not it was a real place, and someone actually did go and do a lot of work on Reddit and actually found the place on Google Earth and actually set a link for it. I have all of these links here. And to me, I just think that that is another case where here we have proof and everybody's doing everything in their power they can to discredit the proof. But I don't know. What do you think of this story?
I'm torn. I'm not an expert. That's why. So here's another one that's quote unquote enhanced, and some of the claims of what is a tree could easily be a bush.
That's true. That's true.
So let me send that to you.
It reminds me of Arizona. Like, the plant life is very it could be. It does look very scrubby and low.
Upload photo. Pop. Up. And send. I don't like this one as much because it looks very doctored.
Let me see.
But I can see where they're going with it.
Oh, yeah, they did a lot of color scaling on this. That's actually
supposedly pretty... it's like cleaned.
I don't see that bush that you showed me on the second picture. Oh, 2 trees side by side. I don't see the trees at all. The trees are gone.
Yeah.
Where it says 2 trees side by side, those are gone. They're not there at all. And there's another tree off to the side of it. That's gone. I don't see that.
But that's what people are claiming. So they get these heavily doctored images. And see, those are just bushes.
That's just scrub.
This is just moss. And then, these giant mounds that you're talking about, oh, those are just stones.
Well, those are actually, they were able to find, those are actually termite mounds. And they can get up to 12 feet tall. And they last easily at least 100 years is what some people were saying. That's how that guy was able to find the Google Earth location, is he used the termite mounds in the trees to kind of get a clearer sense of where it is. So I don't know. That's a very interesting cryptid case. I think it's certainly a plausible cryptid. And it's not that it's impossible that a snake could get that big. A snake could theoretically get that big if there was enough food in the area for them to eat. And what do snakes that large eat? Everything. Anything they want.
Yeah.
Anything they can catch. Crocodiles, deer, small, I say small, but mammals of a medium, they could, at that size, they could eat whatever they can fit in their mouth.
Right around there, they have these giant crabs that people didn't know existed.
Oh.
The land crabs.
No, I didn't know about that.
They come out at night and they eat everything. And the reason why people didn't know they existed is because they'll eat people.
Oh.
You climb the trees, they climb trees.
No way.
There's no surviving if you're stuck in the middle of them. And they can number in the hundreds.
That's great. Do you have any links for that?
Where is this giant crab? I want to look this up. I'm going to look this up. In Africa somewhere? Is that where it is?
I don't remember. I only heard that was one theory of what happened to Amelia Earhart.
Oh. So there's the first thing that comes up is
coconut crab.
Coconut crab.
I don't think it is.
That is in a tree, it looks like, or something. I don't know what that picture is. I mean, there's some big ass crabs. Mud crab of South Africa. We're gonna have to look into that. I think that we could do a lot more episodes on cryptids.
I really could. I can't find anything right now.
Okay, it's always tough to try to find it on the spot. I just can't.
The very first comment on this. I think you'd be safe enough as long as you kept your nuts covered up. Okay.
All right. What other cryptids did you look up?
Like I said, I tried to look up the fatheads.
Oh yeah, tell me about
alien-looking creature.
Yeah.
And there used to be a ton of information on them. Like, that's how I knew about them, is I wasn't looking them up, and I just found them. Mm-hmm. But I didn't save it because I thought it was kind of it's not my forte. Like, it's not really what I go for, because they're just basically inbred people that are sighted throughout the Appalachia, and they have these large heads. They still have somewhat intelligence, but they've resorted to, like, animalistic tendencies. They attack people, they spy on people, but they're still generally regarded as mysterious, and nobody's ever found any traces of them.
Yeah. I mean, Appalachia.
That's all just me going off of memory. I have no links. I can't find anything. I look up fatheads and I don't find it.
Do you feel...
I find other things.
Like, I wonder if because it's quote-unquote pseudoscience, it's being...
Like scrubbed?
Censored.
For false information?
Because it's technically false information. It's just unproven information. It's not blatantly false. We just haven't
but
proved
you know
it.
how they're operating.
Yes, I do. It's obnoxious.
If it's not what they consider hard science, well, you're spreading false information.
It makes me so mad. You know what I did find, which was kind of weird? I distinctly remember as a kid, a young kid, we were in South Phoenix at the time. I distinctly remember being like 12 years oldish, between 10 and 12, being at school and hearing a story about a pride of lions that was found, that had been spotted in Tennessee, Georgia area. And the thought was that hunters had actually imported them from Africa and let them loose in the backwoods of Tennessee and Georgia so that they could have a hunting experience. And I looked for that everywhere. I couldn't find it, but I distinctly remember the story. I remember it very clearly and being really shocked because I used to hang out in the woods of Tennessee, and we spent time out there, and I remember being really shocked about that. And I couldn't find it anywhere, and it just drove me crazy. But you know what I did find when I was searching for that? I was keyword search African lions in Tennessee. And what came up was Chinese people in Guangxi eating other people, like mass cannibalism in China.
What the? Really?
Yes, that was one of.
Well, that's related.
That was one of the search returns I got. Like, oh my God.
As interesting as that is, what the hell?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. But so I was horrified. That was awful. I have a hard time with cannibalism as a concept. Like, it just grosses me out deeply. And it was like this proven, like, it happened. What's crazy is there's people saying maybe it didn't happen, even though there is all of these anecdotal, like, remembrances, and people proudly talk about it still, even now.
I've seen video and photos of, like, fetals.
Ugh.
Eating fetus.
Yuck. I don't want to talk about it anymore. All right, but there is this thing called the alien big cats, ABCs for short. I saw that on Reddit, and I was like, what the hell is an ABC? So I had to look it up, and I found it. This is a very believable cryptid to me. Do you know anything about the alien big cats?
I don't, but in searching for the Tennessee Pride, they just reintroduced cougars.
Yes, I saw that too.
Those are all over the place now, apparently.
Oh, I have something to tell you about that too. But okay, ABCs. Here's what an ABC is. It's an alien big cat, and they say alien not to mean extraterrestrial, but to mean alien as in non-native. And the alien big cats specifically relates to England, Britain area, like that whole UK area. And people for years and years and years and years, for many years, have been talking about these big black cats, like big leopard panther things. So these cats have been being claimed to be there for a very long time. But the thing is, like, they can't find these bodies, but they keep seeing them, and there's pictures of them. And even so, here's a story. So it's called DNA confirmation. DNA test confirms, in quotes, black panthers and other big cats are roaming around the UK countryside. DNA from a black hare caught on a barbed wire fence following a sheep attack in the UK has offered quote-unquote definitive proof big cats are prowling the British countryside, says documentary filmmaker. The strands were sent off for testing after being recovered from a farm in Gloucester, where there had been some, quote, unusual predatory activity. Suspicion was raised when the video footage of a large black animal was also captured only a few miles away from where the sample was taken, and documentary makers, who had been investigating sightings across the UK, say the test has now come back, quote-unquote, positive, confirming the existence of black panthers and other big cats living in the UK. So a forensic laboratory took on the species identification task and used mitochondrial DNA analysis to ascertain a 99% match to a big cat species. The findings have come to light as part of a filming for an upcoming documentary, Panthera Britannia Declassified, which investigates claims of big cat sightings in Britain. So, and they talk about it. They say, people have been seeing these things for decades and people keep brushing it off as it's not real. This DNA result is the first, but it's unlikely to be the last. And there's a lot of quote-unquote secondary evidence. And there's pictures of it. Clearly looks like a panther to me. And they've got these animal carcasses. And so I just thought that was very interesting. And what's crazy to me is there's actually a history of these wild animals being sold. Like there was in the 60s, I was listening to some other podcast, and I think it was Heart Starts Pounding.
The 60s were such a wild time. We did so many terrible things.
And there were no laws. Yeah, we did terrible things, and there were literally no laws controlling the importation of these animals anywhere. And people were keeping them as pets. And that's known. I think it was Harrods. There was a jewelry store like a Harrods jewelry store, I think, in the UK somewhere, where you could go and you could get this really expensive jewelry. You could also purchase a baby African lion or a baby, you know what I mean? Like they just had them. Like it was just there, like a pet store, like a high-end pet store. I don't think it's so far-fetched to believe that these cats were getting released in the wild. I mean, hell, it happens here in Arizona. We have all of these turtles showing up at the Phoenix Zoo, in the moat around the Phoenix Zoo, because people get tired of taking care of them. So they just release them where there's water. We have species of Chinese. There's Chinese fish overtaking the waters of Florida because they were imported illegally, and people are using them because they're like a rare ingredient. Like they're a really important ingredient for like some healing medicines of like Chinese medicine. So it just astounds me that these stories get brushed off the way they do. So you talked about the cougars that were released in Tennessee. Well, let me tell you, they weren't just released in Tennessee, they were also released in Florida. Here's what I love about this, and I lost the damn link, but people have been making claims about sightings of mountain lions in Georgia. People have been saying, we are seeing mountain lions. There are mountain lions. We are finding mountain lions. And there's all of these stories about it. And someone even reported it to like the Georgia Wildlife Reserve. It was called DNR. And I can't remember what that stands for. DNR in Georgia. Department of Natural Resources Division. Someone actually made a report to the DNR in Georgia. Hey, there's this mountain lion. It's terrorizing people. You guys need to do something about it. And the DNR came back and actually made this Facebook post. There are no lions in Georgia. This is impossible. There are none here. But the thing is, there are literally
lions in Tennessee and Florida that were released as part of an experimental reintroduction of these animals into the area. But the Department of Natural Resources treated these people like they were nuts, like treated them like they were nut jobs. There's no such thing as lions in Georgia, but they had to have known. And a couple of people ripped into them on this Facebook post and said, you guys are full of shit. We know that there's these lions in Tennessee and Florida. That's literally just a few hundred miles away. These cats have
It's
massive...
pincered between the two of them.
Yes, it's right in between both
To
states.
the north and south.
And the south. Said, you are absolutely crazy if you don't think that these animals could have traveled this far. And really ripped into them.
And if they were looking for like an intermediate climate, where are they going to go? Somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Florida's too hot. Tennessee's too cold. Where are they going to go?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wish I could find the story. I'm really annoyed with myself that I didn't save the story. But it really kind of, again, I say this a lot, it blew my mind. It blew my mind how dismissive these agencies are of the public. And we're talking about down-home hunters. We're talking about people who know their woods. We're talking about people who know what a fucking lion looks like. There's no mistake. You know the difference between a house cat and a bobcat and a mountain lion. They look different. They are worldsly different, you know? And they were just getting dismissed as if they were nut jobs. And they finally had to push back and like, you are out of your mind if you think that this is impossible. How dare you treat us this way? And so the DNR actually edited their Facebook post so it wasn't quite so, what's the word, definitive. Like they didn't say impossible anymore, just unlikely. But it makes me like, why do these government...
There are videos and photos all over the place of these same mountain lions in Alabama.
Mm-hmm. And in New Jersey. I actually found some stories of New Jersey.
It's impossible for it to be in Georgia.
Impossible. We didn't release them there, so they could not be there. Like, it's like this weird... That's not where we put them. They are like little toys. They stay where they're put. Like, that's not how wildlife works. That's not how it works. They go where there's food. They go where there's opportunity. They go where there's space. I don't know. It just... That killed me. It just makes me so angry. And it makes me feel like if this is how people are treated when there is a very plausible situation happening, I don't think it's at all outlandish to think that these lions traveled, you know, like as their population expands, they expand outward because they take they're territorial, they're solitary, and they take large areas for themselves. So they have to push out.
They're not migratory, but they do split their packs.
Yes. They don't live in packs. They don't live in pack systems. They're solitary creatures. And so they have their own individual territories. Well, that means that as the population expands, the territories expand.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a government agency treating people like they're nuts over an animal that we know exists and we know was released. Like, if that's the way that we treat people over something that's entirely plausible and probably actually happening, what incentive does anyone have for an animal that hasn't been proven yet? You know, like, I believe there probably have been way more experiences with stuff like Bigfoot and other strange cryptids that people don't report because they know this is how they're going to get treated, because this is how people get treated when it's something mundane. It really killed me, and it just makes me feel like there's something to this. That, you know, it's not impossible, because this is how the people in control, the people in charge, treat people. How do we know? They just dismiss it. It's never happened before, so it couldn't happen now. What do you think? Rant over.
I'm 100%. I think we're on the same page here, because, like, I think the land sloth exists.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much stretch of territory that people don't live in.
Mm-hmm.
That, I know for sure, because I've been looking at houses in this general area. So much of it is unpopulated, and as a result, the land value is super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at buying acres of land, and you can get them for like nothing, because nobody lives there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody goes there. It's considered undesirable. People don't even hike there. All this undisturbed nature, and we don't think something lives there?
Mm-hmm.
That's foolish. That's foolish.
It is foolish. I agree. It's crazy. All right, so that's my plausible but unproven cryptids. I called it compelling but unproven. Actually, there is one more. So there is this thing called the Aberdeen carcass. Did you come across this?
Aberdeen carcass.
Yep.
Let me look that up. No.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up and look at the picture.
Aberdeen.
Tell me what it looks like to you.
I spelt it wrong, but there it is. Oh. Okay, well, that's a spine. My first thought was tentacle, but no.
That's a spine. Yeah, it's not a tentacle. It's a spine.
Is it?
Describe to the audience what you're seeing.
No rib cage, just a big giant spine, and somebody has their leg lifted over it. Let's say their leg is about a foot and a half.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is easily 20 times the size of their leg, like in length. I'd say more, but and they think that it's a carnivore is what it says. I don't see the head, so I can't say for sure. Do you have a better picture?
There are two pictures, and it's hard for me to know, is it the same creature? Because the level of decomposition is different. So there is
and it's got what looks like hair, but that's definitely muscle tissue.
Muscle tissue, probably some seaweed. And you're right, there's no rib cage in the one that you're looking at. Here's another one that they're also calling the Aberdeen carcass, but the picture is different. Let me see if I can get a link for you for this one.
Is it the smaller one where somebody's standing behind it?
Yeah. I just sent it to you in the Discord.
It's loading.
Oh.
It's loading.
Oh, my God.
The site can't be reached. Okay.
Okay. So the thing is, there's two different pictures of this Aberdeen carcass, and one of them still has all of its skin on. You don't see the vertebra. You do see a face, which has a really interesting crocodile-looking face. And they are saying that is probably a pilot whale, like a juvenile pilot whale that died and washed up to the shore. And in one of the pictures, I can kind of maybe see that. I think that the eye shape is very different, and that bothers me. There's also no dorsal fin, and there's no... What's the back fin called? I forget what that's called.
That's the dorsal fin.
Which one is the one on the top? I thought that was the dorsal fin.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
The top one on the top is a dorsal fin. What's the one on the back that like propels the animal? I don't know what it's called.
Tail fin?
Tail fin. That's probably it. There's no tail fin. There's no dorsal fin. It's very thin. There's no... Like, whales have, vestigial arms. They've got these little flippers in the front. This creature doesn't have any of those extra things. And I guess it could be argued that in decomp, those pieces fell off. Which, okay, yeah, maybe. In this other photo, there is no meat left on it. It is all just spine. There's no rib cages that you can kind of see, but
Well, there is meat on it. It's towards the front.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I do see it. I think these are two different animals, this Aberdeen carcass.
They definitely are. Because I see 3 images of the smaller one that you're talking about.
Yes. Now, I compared it against photos of pilot whale skeletons, and I can kind of see in the smaller one how the face does look quite a bit like a pilot whale. Like if you just look at the bone, there's this weird beak-looking thing that's sticking up from the nose, and it kind of looks like that. But in a pilot whale, the eyes are further out on the side, and there's not these big dominant ridges on the top of the head. The eyes are to the side. Except in this carcass, we've got these eye ridges that are right sitting on top, just like a crocodile would. And I don't know. That's a question mark for me. Like, we've definitely found this carcass, this animal. It doesn't seem like there was any DNA testing that was done, which is what drives me crazy. Just freaking DNA test stuff. But I guess that costs money. What is that? That's interesting. And so we've got this thing that, to me, kind of looks like a sea serpent. It looks like a dragon. It's very interesting. I don't know. What do you think about this?
I'm looking at other vertebrae, and you're definitely looking at it the right way. From what I can see, the parts that sort of flange out are towards the top.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bigger one that you saw. on at least the human vertebrae, that's exactly how it works too.
Mm-hmm.
Is our ribs are on the bottom of where those things flange out. Each vertebrae has like those little wings on them.
Yeah.
So from what we're looking at, that is the top of the creature that is facing up, and the bottom is facing down. So it's properly oriented to where it's not just a spine.
Yeah.
So that is the full creature. And yeah, so it looks like a serpent.
Right? It's very snake-like, the skeleton that we have. So I don't have, there's not any information on it that I could find. There's just none. Like, it's just so hard to find information. But when I compare the two skeletons, like, it's pretty easy to find pilot whale skeletons. They look nothing alike. Like, let me send you this picture of a pilot whale skeleton, and you'll notice the vertebra is very, very different. So where you're describing, the vertebra is very flat and has like those dorsal edges that come out to the side, but there's nothing on top. Like, there's no ridges on top of this one skeleton that we're looking at. Well,
that's the only issue, is because that's why I was looking this up, is because it's flat on the top, which is kind of strange for vertebrae.
If you follow that link, that's going to take you to a pilot whale skeleton that's been assembled. And there's a couple of different species of pilot whale, but this would be a pretty, like, if you look at it.
That's just a pilot whale. Hold on.
Well, the picture that pulled up on the link is just a pilot whale. But if you follow the link, it'll take you to the skeleton.
And it's got these spikes on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is not what we see in this carcass picture.
And the flanges are round, not flat.
Yeah, you're right. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're looking at there. And there was no freaking testing done as far as I can tell. It just gets dismissed. No, it's just a pilot whale. And end of story, end of investigation. Why are people less curious than they should be? I don't understand. Be more curious.
Like, that's your entire job. You should be excited about this.
It would literally be so easy to shut people down. Just, okay, we'll do a quick, genetic test and boom. Okay.
This is fascinating. I want to look more into this.
Yeah.
Inconclusive.
No one does that.
This is just a pilot whale. Go fuck yourself. I'm here for an easy paycheck. Go home.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking into. I'm not interested. Thanks. I don't know. It drives me nuts. So, okay, Aberdeen carcass. Okay, so I have a couple of totally outlandish cryptids that are absolutely crazy, but I did find a video on one of them that I wonder about. So, okay, have you ever heard of the Japanese filth liquor?
A Japanese what?
Filth liquor.
No.
Like filthy. Oh, man. It's called the Akaname. And it is this fantastical monster. Okay. So it's a kind of Akanaburi, which is some kind of monster of Japanese legend. This one can theoretically assume the guise of a beautiful woman. And it's claimed that she will lick away the blood and flesh until only a skeletal carcass remains. That's one of them. Okay, that's actually one of them. But then there's another version of it, and parents threaten their children with it. If you don't keep your bathroom clean, the filth liquor will come. The Akaname will come, and it will eat you. And it's just this crazy monster thing that just apparently just haunts people's bathrooms and licks the filth off of a tub. There you are. All right, so according to breezewiki.com, the Akaname is a demon from Japanese folklore described as having the body of a human but looking much like a goblin. It is long, shaggy hair and one toe on each foot, from which protrudes a long toenail. Its tongue is extremely long and dripping with saliva. The drawing also illustrates that the Akaname is an untidy creature that inhabits the bathrooms of people's houses, particularly when the bathtub is dirty. It eats the grime and filth from the floor of the bathtub. Some people will actually avoid the bathrooms entirely during the summer when the heat makes mold grow more easily. This attracts the attention of the Akaname. Its saliva is poisonous, and it uses this to help lick the dirt and grime. Stories of the Akaname were used to scare children into keeping the bathroom clean in fear that it might attract an Akaname. It is normally described with red skin. And there's this crazy picture of it. Just this really grody looking, I don't know, it kind of looks like a lady. This small thing with this ridiculously long tongue. Let me send you a link. Okay. So I feel like, okay, that's crazy. That sounds more spiritual than physical, right? Like that to me seems more like less cryptid, more spirit. Except, you ever watch Paranormal Caught on Camera?
No.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite shows. I watch it all the time. And sometimes the stuff that they show on that show, I'm like, meh, that's garbage. Like, I know what that is. That's not what they're saying it is. And other times I'm like, whoa, that's nuts. Let me see if I can find it. So that's the Gorp. That's the Akname. That's my cryptid Excel spreadsheet.
I gotta say, too, though, the Asians have really good cryptid stories.
Well, they have an unbroken lineage. They didn't lose all of their stuff.
They kept their history.
They kept it.
They documented things.
They didn't
forever.
have a bunch of angry Christians down their throat telling them that everything they believed was the demon. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, shoot. I lost my damn... Wait, is this it? No, that's not it. I had this really amazing... I'm going to show you, and I want you to watch it. Malaysian slug monster. There it is. Found it. I found it. This is an actual video captured in Malaysia, crawling out of someone's toilet. It is terrifying, and it is definitely a real thing. I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of a worm, the way that it travels. Let me see if I can get you a link for this. Is it coming up for you?
Oh. Yeah. I always thought that was like the hair spirit thing.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. But watch the video. Look at it. Look at the way that it moves.
Horrifying giant snake-bite creature emerges from family's toilet in Malaysia. Yikes.
Yes.
Okay. Video's playing. You know what we could do too? Have you ever heard of the black goo?
No. What's the black goo?
It's like this, and it actually shows up in a ton of music videos, in a lot of occultist videos. Not really sure what the hell it is, but the black goo has started actually showing up more and more out in the world. And they say it kind of has a sentience. If you touch it, you'll get sick. That's what this image reminds me of. This reminds me of like a black goo rather than a serpent, although it does move serpent-like.
I have a belief that it's... Well, there are such things as snakes sometimes that get... that end up with seaweed growing all over their bodies, so they look like furry snakes. Those have been found, and people, like biologists, were able to look at it and remove the seaweed growing off the snake, and it was just a regular snake. This doesn't move like a snake. Like the way that the head moves reminds me of an earthworm. Like it's so skinny. It's like an appendage less than a head. And the way that it inches out and creeps out, it's like the way that a worm becomes very skinny as it's moving forward and then sort of drags the rest of its body with it as it's, you know what I mean? Like it moves different than a snake. I'm inclined to believe it's, I mean, obviously someone took a photo of it. I don't know how you would possibly fake that. I suppose it's possible, but I wonder if it's a real creature and it is the inspiration for our Akname with a very long, hairy tongue that can make you sick if it touches you. I mean, what does that look like to you? If it comes out of your bathroom and it's this long thing. And
I did say serpentine, but I do see the earthworm. Yeah.
It does look like an earthworm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel I thought this Akname is ridiculous. I'm going to talk about it because it's absolutely ridiculous. But then I remembered, oh my God, Paranormal Caught on Camera has a thing that might maybe fit the description a little bit. I'm not saying it's It's not a perfect match, but there's something there.
Here's it is. Hold on.
What?
Save image. Save it as download. I'm going to send this to you. Hold on.
Okay.
I've been trying to find this the whole time, too.
What is it? Oh my God, I'm so excited.
This right here.
Whoa, what's that? That looks like some kind of chimpanzee thing.
That is a woman from a village who was said to live amongst them, took a human husband, and had children. The children of which looked more or less human, but they had diminished personality characteristics. They were more warrior-like, and they liked to be put to work. They liked to do things. They didn't like to socialize.
I mean,
So explain to them what you're seeing.
okay, so at face value,
This is a dead picture. She's dead here.
I wondered
They
about
propped her
this.
up as proof.
There's like a stick that's propping up her face. So at first glance, it looks like a chimpanzee.
Yep.
And it's got the really, really long fingers, like really long hand and fingers of a chimpanzee, and the feet look really long, and the toes are, what's that called? Prehensile. So the toes look more like fingers. I will say that looks like a penis. You're looking at the same picture. That does not look female. There's also no breasts. Although I guess I don't know what
Is this the wrong picture?
I don't know, but that definitely looks male. I mean,
you're right. This is the wrong picture, so maybe.
But the face is very different from a chimpanzee.
This is basically what she looked like, though.
It's fur almost over the whole body, except the chest has less fur, or the fur is maybe white. There's no fur on the face, and it kind of almost looks like the hair's sort of been combed back away from the face a little bit, and the eyes, like they're not pushed back with like a really big, strong brow. It's more smoothly sloped the way that a human face is, but the jaw and the mouth look very ape-like. The nose.
It said that she couldn't communicate at all, except for like physical expression.
Dude,
The children could speak, but less so.
that's nuts.
And so that is a Asian Bigfoot.
I mean, yeah.
And she only existed in a small village. She never liked to be in crowds. She helped with the gardening and cleaning of the house. And the sons were good hunter-gatherers.
And a human man married her, huh?
I guess. That's wild to think of too, right?
Yeah. That's a little... I mean, I don't know. I mean, that one's definitely male,
Times were
though.
different.
I mean, yeah, I guess. You love who you love.
Hey, check out this ethot.
Were you sending me something? What were you saying?
No, that picture.
Yeah, man.
I mentioned that as modern day ethot.
I mean, people are doing all kinds of crazy things to make themselves into dolphins and cats and things, so who am I to
That's true.
judge?
In every way except for physical, I am a wolf.
That photo is definitely a male.
That's a male.
Yeah.
There's
no doubt.
This isn't the right one, but they said this is what she looks like.
I mean, yeah, I can see that that's not a chimp.
And I swear I've seen a picture of her before, and she looked like this.
Yeah. If you could find it,
That's why I sent it to you, because I
I'd
thought
love
this
to
was
see
the
it.
right one.
Yeah, man. That's a really cool picture. I think that there's something to it. I think that it's possible. I'm not saying that I 100%, I mean, I'm looking for at this point with Bigfoot, in order for it to be really proven, someone's going to have to bring in DNA. Like, that's it. A DNA or a body.
Are you kidding me? Mandy, we just spoke about how they stuffed and embalmed.
A giant turtle. You're right.
No. We need to catch a living one.
A living one. True story. How impossible will that be? Damn, man. Ugh, that's a really neat... I'm going to look for that story now. I would like to see her picture.
Mr. Ballin does a pretty good episode.
Who?
I would recommend anybody who listens to us, check out Mr. Ballin.
Who is Mr. Ballin?
Mr. Ballin does a very good job narrating stories on these things, and I think he tells a story about this creature.
I'd like to hear that someday. Where can one find Mr. Ballin's stories? Does he have a podcast?
He's on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify.
How
He's a large channel.
How do you spell his name? Mr.
So Mr. Ballin.
Oh, Ballin. Okay. Mr. Baller.
He's a war vet, came back, started supporting other vets and doing cryptid stories.
I'm definitely going to
That's what he
subscribe. I'm going to totally subscribe.
He's cool. He is very cool.
There's a lot of people, this is like their whole life. He's a Vietnam vet? Is that what you said?
Wait, no, not Vietnam vet.
I was going to say, there's no way he's old enough for that. He's our age.
No, I said he's a vet.
Yeah, okay. He's a little bit older than me, maybe, or maybe the same age as me. He's our age. I love it. We need to figure out where these people are, like, where is the information kept? Because it's not on mainstream Google.
You can't Google it. Jesus,
No.
why can you not Google it?
It was really tough finding the stuff that I wanted.
And the problem with the dark web is I can search the dark web, but there's no proof. It's not credible.
Well,
they don't source each other. They don't. It's just
Oh.
literally somebody writing a story.
I see. Well, we talked about trolls. Let's see.
Yeah, troll. Well, let's talk about internet trolls there for a second.
We talked about, well, we didn't talk about the Alaskan giant polar bear, which I think could be real. There's so much of Alaska that's not been discovered. But, okay, so I've got a couple of stories. And now
we didn't talk about the Alaskan polar bear.
We did not. Did you?
But I will say that polar bears have been spotted as far south as Washington, so why not?
I agree. Why not? Well, they also have proven with DNA analysis that polar bears sometimes interbreed with grizzly bears.
Mm-hmm.
They call them growler bears, and they're ginormous. They're massive. So, who can say? And I have seen, we know that there are such things. I remember, okay, the very first time I heard of a creature called a liger was when I was watching Napoleon Dynamite.
Your mom goes to college.
And I thought it was an imaginary thing. I did not think it was real. Then I watched the Tiger King documentary on Netflix, and I learned, holy shit, that's a real animal. Someone actually did it.
It took you that long?
Yes, of course it did, because I believed,
They were bred in captivity. They've existed for a while.
I did not know that. And what I have learned is that hybrids, for some reason, it tends to unlock some kind of weird genetic code, and hybrids tend to be much, much bigger than either of their parents. Like, they just grow and grow and grow and grow. Like, something sort of changes in the genetics when they are interbred like that. So I believe maybe it is possible that there are giant Alaska polar bears out there that have they're throwbacks to some kind of hybrid bear that unlocked that genetic code and got ginormous. I mean, who's to say? Okay, I have some fun stories to read, and they're not, so here's the thing. We have this backdrop of all of these stories and all of this stuff, and I hope that what we've proven this episode is that cryptids on the whole are not as outlandish as you might initially assume. I hope that we did that, at least. That we've proven that it is at least plausible that these big creatures could exist and are simply not found yet. What do you think? Do we think we did that?
I feel like we beat the nail. Yeah. The nail has been struck.
It's been done.
One other thing I'd like to say is just because it's considered a cryptid doesn't make it fantastical.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a creature. It might be strange because it's not something we know about. We haven't studied it. We don't know its behaviors. But that doesn't make it magical. It just makes it a creature we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So I do categorize cryptids as different than spiritual beings.
And even sometimes spiritual beings may have a basis in the physical, something was seen once and it was never seen again, and it was talked about, and it became this legendary non-corporeal concept because the corporeal was never seen again. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't truly there. And I think I proved that to myself with the filth liquor, the akaname. I just thought, this is a ridiculous story. But then I remembered, oh shit, there is actually something that I could see this could have been based on. Okay, so first of all, I just want to give proper credit. That first story in the introduction, that was definitely not a bear in Tennessee. That actually story belonged to Redditor Limbo Seth. That was posted 7 months ago, and I thought that was a pretty good story.
I think I want to do more on stick people are very interesting.
All right, I've got a Fresno Nightcrawler. Where did it go? Fresno Nightcrawlers. So here's the story. This is by Jack in the Box on Reddit. I was walking home one night at about 3 a.m. About a block from my house, down the road, I saw an inhumanly tall figure in what appeared to be bright white cloth. I don't believe in ghosts and stuff. I made a comment about this, and someone said it sounded like a Fresno Nightcrawler. What bothers me, though, is that if Nightcrawlers are real, this one was easily almost 9 feet tall, where most reports set them at no taller than 4, and one was 6. It really didn't do anything besides walk across the lawns of the houses. By the time I got down the road, it was long gone. Though I did have the feeling I was being followed, watched the rest of the way home. Edit. Gonna say what I saw wasn't a Nightcrawler, but something else. Not sure what it was to begin with, though. So that was that story. And what's a Nightcrawler, Cameron?
Nightcrawlers, as far as I can tell, they're the two-legged creatures with a solid torso that walk around at night, and they kind of, I wouldn't say they glow, but they're almost luminescent.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of hobble around. I don't know what they do, though.
They've
been caught on footage several times.
Several times. There are native stories about them, and that would be a fun episode to do, is to read the old native stories. To me, it almost looks like a pair of legs attached to a head without a torso. Like, it's just this big triangular thing walking on 2 legs. It's just like a head on 2 legs. There's no arms that can be seen. There might be a torso, but it just looks like the legs go straight up to the head. If there's a head at all. Maybe it's just a waist.
I mean, that's
there
what I'm
is no
saying,
head.
is torso.
Yeah.
It's just one solid, there's no neck. It's just a lump in the middle. And I always thought they were kind of dumb looking.
They're really dumb looking.
I hate that as a cryptid.
It's such a weird cryptid, but there have been plenty of videos, and I could kind of see, maybe someone on stilts, if they kept their arms rigid with their legs, maybe. It's a very weird one, though, because the legs go so high up and they scissor. Like, the way that the legs kind of articulate against each other is so high on the body. I'm not sure how you could fake that. Not saying it's impossible to fake, but it's pretty compelling. Like, that's a pretty compelling video. We should put a link to that.
It's such a goofy creature, though. I hate them so much. Maybe that's what they do. They inspire hate from me.
I mean, that's what would you, if one was walking right in front of you, I would be spooked.
Go away, I don't believe in you. That's what I'd say.
You're so dumb. What do you even do? You would just yell at it. Okay, so
fuck you. Go away. I don't know. If that one's real, I'm very upset. Of all of the things that we can have proof of.
I mean,
that one.
We should look at the old native stories and see what it is they say about them, and maybe they are.
I want to know what the hell they are.
More impressive.
I have no idea. I only judge them on appearances because that's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
I know they exist in Native American literature, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah. I
don't know what they are, what they do, what they represent.
You know what? The top comment is, I just pulled up a Redditor Fresno Nightcrawler topic. The top comment, the number one comment. The Fresno Nightcrawler looks goofy as hell, comma. I love it. Legendary Fart Master 7 says that.
Yeah, Fart Moss has a good point.
Fart Master, excuse me. Legendary Fart Master 7. Well,
Fart Moss is a better name. I will give him that critique.
All right, so Amazing Banana from Reddit says, I have seen one of these as well, although it was not as tall as the one you saw. I was at this park with my then girlfriend that has a neighborhood on one side and a few miles of pretty dense forest on the other. We were stargazing, and as we sat in this opening near the neighborhood, I heard a rustling in a patch of shrubbery that sounded like a person stomping around. I immediately got up to investigate, as this area is known for sketchy activity, in parentheses he says, drug deals and the like. What I saw made no sense. I still feel like I imagined it or something. I saw what looked like a person hunched over with a white cloth over them walk out of the bushes and stand on this path that goes around the entire park. I turned to my girlfriend and asked her what it looks like, without telling her what it looked like to me, and she described it exactly as I did. So we hightailed it out of there, booked it to my car and got in, and I, wanting to know what the fuck it was, turned on the high beams in the hopes it would follow us. It did not. Now this is where the story gets even stranger. Please hear me out on this, as I have never shared this with anyone but those close to me and my girlfriend, and I never talked about it again. We went to another park because we wanted to continue stargazing, so we drove a few miles to this other park that is essentially a giant field. We found a bench and sat down and managed to forget about that weird encounter. After about 10 to 15 minutes of this, we suddenly saw, not heard mind you, what appeared to be a black helicopter fly over us in the direction of that first park. This thing was completely silent, no noise at all. I have not been able to find any pictures online that come close to what it looked like, but if you're familiar with Halo Reach, it looked like a falcon. This thing maneuvered like nothing I've ever seen. Granted, I don't know much about aviation, but it dipped over a tree line at an angle so steep that we thought it was going to crash. The weirdest part of all of this is that there was someone else at this second park, an old woman walking her dog that didn't react to the plane helicopter at all. It was by far the strangest night of my life. We both agreed that maybe we had some bad food or something and decided to just go home and go to bed. I have yet to return to either park, and I don't really ever plan on doing so. There's some really strange shit out there, man. Thank you. Thank you, Amazing Banana. There is some really strange shit out there. Agreed.
That's the other thing, too, is it's so easy to fake.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like a puppet with a bit of Kleenex over it and a couple of sticks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in this guy, Amazing Banana described it as like a human hunched over with a sheet over them. Like, what if it is? Maybe that's why it looks so weird. What if it's a human person who's bent all the way over at the waist? Oh, that sucks. At the waist on stilts or something, and they're just walking. And you can't see the upper half of their bodies because I guess, you know what I'm describing? Like, what if someone was just really good at bending over like that?
It's just too easy to fake.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're pretty interesting. They're very interesting. What kills me, though,
they're mysterious,
well,
sure.
and that the stories have been around for hundreds of years. The stories of these existed long before YouTube hoaxers. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
That thing that I just sent you, sorry for the notification.
No, that wasn't you. That was some weird Google thing. Where?
Oh, okay, good. So this is what they call it, the Orang Pendek.
Oh, I have a story about
also
the Orang
known as
Pendek.
the Orang Pendek. And in several translations, it's said to be bipedal ape living in the jungles of the island of Sumatra. It's reported commonly between 3 to 5 feet, and his fur is short, typically gray or black, but sometimes reddish or honey-colored. The name Orang Pendek, sorry, not Pendeke, is translated to just mean short person in Indonesian. It is said to be around 3 to 6 feet, and it just repeats basically what I already read.
Okay, that is so crazy that that's what it is, because I actually found an Orang Pendek story, and I wasn't going to read it today. You ready?
Oh, well, there you go. That's what she was supposed to be. And she lived in this village and existed with them and bred with them.
Okay. So this came from YouTube, or not YouTube. This definitely came from Reddit. And I feel so bad because I didn't catch the Redditor's name. That's not good. I'll see if I can find it. I found it in post. The Redditor's name is Raijin40. Raijin 40. But it's this Orang Pendek story. So he goes, I'm Indonesian and I have a secondhand account story to tell you. My grandpa was born in Sumatra. Even though his dad is a Chinese immigrant, my grandpa pretty much lived there for his whole life. You see, the island of Sumatra has many thick and dense forests, and if I remember correctly, there are many parts still left unexplored. My grandpa was quite adventurous when he was younger. He often would go to the forest with his friends to hunt squirrels and other small wild animals. One day, my grandpa and his friends decided to go to another region in Sumatra and hunt in more remote and unfamiliar forests. He said that he would get bored hunting in the same forests all the time. So, accompanied by his usual hunting friends, they hired a local guide and entered the forest. After hunting for squirrels all day, they realized that they were lost. Their local guide said he'd never seen that part of the forest they were in, which was weird because he made sure to stay in the area he was familiar with. My grandpa said it felt like they were hypnotized by unseen forces, and before they knew it, they ended up in an unfamiliar part of the forest. They tried to remain calm and assess the situation, and that's when they noticed it. Something was observing them from behind the bush. My grandpa said it looked like a hybrid between human and chimps, and it's kind of small, about as tall as an adult's waist. He couldn't explain it well because how weird that thing was, but he remembered one particular detail about the creature, or thing. Its front foot were in reverse position, so when the creature walked, it looked like the creature was walking backwards. The creature noticed my grandpa's party was aware of its presence and walked away from the scene. Weirdly enough, the creature wasn't running at all, so out of curiosity, the party decided to follow the creature. They arrived at an open area where a herd of the creatures had gathered. My grandpa said they were talking some kind of unknown language, like a wild man language. The party decided it was enough curiosity and time to scram out of there because they were in an unknown situation and they could be in real danger. After walking for hours, they miraculously reached the edge of the forest sometime after sunrise, and luckily enough, the creatures didn't follow them at all. It's up to you guys to believe me or not, but one thing I know for sure, my grandpa wasn't a liar. He kept telling us this story even after he reached a very old age. His story got me into cryptozoology, and of course I did some research on the Orang Pendek, and some testimonies from natives across Sumatra were similar to my grandpa's. One thing that I want to mention is the creatures speak some kind of unknown language. That's why the very first time I heard Sierra sound, I got shivers all over my body. To think these creatures are intelligent is very exciting. That's the end of the story. Did you send me more things? I feel like I heard things. What did you think of it?
This relates to what you just read. They do a great deal of work, sowing, reaping, corn, and other things. And when traders go to them, as I have witnessed myself, they put out what they have to sell in the middle of the path, and then they run and hide. Then the purchasers go forward and deposit the price and take what has been set down.
Yes,
The link to that was a YouTube video of the person saying this. The video is no longer available.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's the link I sent you.
Censorship, man.
It's a blank link.
Video unavailable. Oh, it's no longer available due to a copyright claim by Fredography. So somebody claims that their copyright was violated. So it was probably a repost of someone else's post.
Maybe.
Fred.
Hard to say. There's no original link listed.
I see. So it looks like Fredography is a channel. It's a live channel, but it's in another language. I'm going to guess Malaysian. But I can clearly see they're talking about the orang. So in the title of one of the videos, it's Kaget ada orang telanja di hutan Aceh. And I'm probably pronouncing that all wrong. But it's in some other language. So I'm guessing someone used their video and did like an overdubbed, probably English. And this guy found it and made a copyright claim. Which is a shame because, I mean, it's not a shame because you should have your intellectual property protected. Like, I totally agree with that. But it's a shame that we don't get to see... Oh! Oh, there it goes. Okay. We don't get to see the actual... Like, we don't get to know what's being said because I don't speak this language. And I'm not even sure what language it is. That's the shame for me.
I would imagine Indonesian, but yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
So the fact that they communicate, though, is, I would say, given if they do this kind of work. They sow, they reap corn, and other things, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they can sow, they can do a bunch of things. Sowing is pretty intricate. That lists a whole line of things that they can do. They can produce fabric.
That requires a lot of skill, yeah.
There's a whole lot that leads up to being able to sew. They have needles of some kind that they use, that they understood were valuable.
But I agree. I mean, that is a lot, and it's interesting that it's corroborated with other people who are seeing it in other videos. I think that's really cool.
And this is also known as the Hobbit people of Indonesia. If you look that up,
I
you'd
saw
be able
that.
to find them.
Uh-huh.
That's who they are, the Orang Pendek.
That's really neat. Let's see. Any more stories we want to read? I feel like this was an awesome episode we did.
I think we did a good job.
We did a good job.
I mean, we're obviously biased in the way that we think cryptids are real because it's such an overarching category.
It's so huge. Like,
you might as well say aliens don't exist anywhere in the universe. Really? You're trying to say that there's animals out there we don't know of?
Exactly. And I think we did a good job of proving that, like showing that. It just, cryptids is you're right, it's such a massive field. We could have literally talked about anything. Like, there is no limit to the number. In fact, there's so many cryptids that I'm creating an Excel spreadsheet so that I can group them in categories so that I can better understand what the hell I'm talking about, because I'm so new to it. I'm sure there probably are already such things out there, but I am creating my own Excel.
I'm not sure that there is. So if you finish that,
you can post
copyright it and post it.
I'm starting to put in
royalties.
Links too, because there's one particular website I'm using, so I want to make sure that I'm always giving credit to the person who's doing it. It's this the Breeze Wiki or the Cryptid Wiki, and I'm using their entries and I'm creating an Excel sheet categorizing the creatures, because theirs is just listed in alphabetical order. So I'm about halfway through the A's. I'm only halfway through the A's, and I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 distinct ape-like creatures that might be like Bigfoot-like creatures. That's 16, just halfway through the A's from around the world. I think that tells you something. It tells you something when every culture has some version of it. And then I have, the categories I have. It's amazing. Big cats, canine types, bears, sloths, dragon serpents. There's a lot of dragon serpent type things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm, again, only halfway through the A's. Aquatic monsters, which I feel like there's just a ton of those. What happened here? Don't switch. Giant birds, pterodactyl type things. There's so much to talk about. Tree spirits. There's tree spirits. Yes.
We touched on that.
And so there's just, we could revisit this again and again and again, and it would be so fun. Before we go, let's talk about what's the next episode, brother. We talked about Fire in the Sky, that abduction story from Arizona. We talked about the Alaskan Triangle. And I think we talked about just alien abductions in general. What do you want the next topic to be?
I'm thinking Fire in the Sky.
I kind of want to do it.
It's not my favorite one, but like, it's a pretty well documented story that we can talk about, and we should know more about it, being who we are and where we are. So we should research that and maybe talk about it a little bit. At least just do one episode.
At least one, and it wouldn't be too hard to get there and look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe from the perspective of local, we can add something new to the story. I don't know. Probably not, because it's really been done, but who knows?
But like you said, we can actually get there. We can actually interview people. First-hand accounts. Fresh.
Always the best. Always the best. Yeah. So much better than internet research. All right, little brother. Okay. Well, listener, I hope you enjoyed our show today. Cameron? Gonna talk?
If any of you are interested, the Orang Pendek is very interesting. That one's very easy to research as long as you know what you're looking for. It's one of the few that hasn't been completely scrubbed
from the internet.
Other than that, I would say if you are a little bit northern America, look at stick people. Stick people are existing in Northeast America, and they are horrifying.
Oh.
But they're out there.
I'm gonna look at that. That's cool. All right. Well, this has been another episode through the Wandering Crow. Bye, guys.
Bye. It's almost unnerving that I can't find it. This was all over the place. I was going to do the story about the guy that he thought somebody was spying on his kids for like 3 nights, and he recorded it. Like, he set up a video camera pointed right at the window, and instead he saw like a fucking alien.
No. Oh, that would be...
Yeah, now I can't fucking find that now. It actually made the news.
Dude, that's a crazy story.
That would have been a good one.
That would have been
I
a
don't
good
know
one.
where it is.